So, a big question that Nancy and I get very often is now that someone or a couple people have engaged in my content, what do I do? I'm getting engagement. What are my next steps? And here's the thing. There's four, I would say, core things that you want to do. And I'm going to cover that in today's training in today's episode because when you can increase your engagement activity and create more visibility with what you're doing, LinkedIn will see that and they will actually push your content out to more people, which works to your benefit because the more that people see your content, that engage in your content, the more opportunity you have for converting your connections into clients. And that's the whole thing. Now, before I dive into today's training in today's episode, I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but Nancy and I have created a free guide. It's a resource called the 3 High Impact Post Template resource for LinkedIn content. So it is a Mad Lib style fill in the blank resource for people that aren't getting any engagement or low engagement and no conversations are starting. So if you would like this free resource, all you have to do if you're watching on social, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, just type the word me, M-E, in the comments, and I'll send you the link where you can get the download. If you're listening on the podcast, super easy. Go to the description of the episode. The link is right there. So the first thing is there is something called engagement drop off. So this is that gap between someone interacting in your content and you actually having a conversation with it. So here's what everybody needs to understand. Um, Engagement is not just a vanity metric. It's a warm touch point or a hand raise. So I've talked about this in previous episodes and previous trainings that you're always looking for warm touch points, aka reasons to reach out to people. Someone votes in a poll, reach out to them. Someone comments in one of your posts, reach out to them. Someone likes or engages, reach out to them. Someone subscribes to your newsletter, reach out to them. Someone reshares, reach out to them. So many people are still playing that LinkedIn 2015 game of connecting messaging, connecting messaging, connecting messaging. You still want to reach out to your new connections. An accepted connection request is still a warm touch point, but you're looking for warmer touch points. Warmer touch points are people that are actually resonating with the message behind your content. When someone raises their hand, aka they like or love, they comment, they reshare, they vote, they subscribe to your newsletter, so on and so on. Those are all significant hand raises. So you need to build these pipelines, right? So you have to follow up with these people. And the fact of the matter is, the coaches, consultants, and service professionals that may be watching this or listening to this who build that consistent pipeline, they're not necessarily creating better content. They just have a process of what to do when something like this happens. And I know that there are so many of you that are watching this and listening to this that are in the coaching, consulting, and service professional space that are leaving so many opportunities on the doorstep. And I want you guys to get across the finish line. So the fact of the matter is that the first thing that you need to acknowledge is when someone raises their hand. Someone raises their hand, they're engaging, right? So that's where you need to acknowledge this. So I set aside time every single day, twice a day actually. I do after my post goes live in the afternoon. I do a 10-minute check, see what's going on within my network, engage back, And then I do it again before I end my day at 4 o'clock Eastern. And if you just set aside, just 5 to 10 minutes twice a day after your content goes out, you can create more conversations. But there's a step that people skip. And there's a mindset around this. I don't want to seem pushy. I don't want to seem weird. I don't even know what to say to someone when I would reach out. But here's the thing. If you're noticing these people raising their hands, that is a warm enough reason for you to then take that next step and reach out to them in a private message on LinkedIn. They're not only a connection, they're someone who is resonating with what you're posting, whether it's an image text post, a poll, a video, a newsletter, so on and so on. There's a mindset shift that you need to make. Following up with someone who engages in your content in some way, shape, or form, it's not a sales pressure, meaning you're not looking to pitch, slap, and sell. It's continuing a conversation that has already begun. They open the door by engaging in your content. You just need to walk through and continue it. And it doesn't have to be slimy. It doesn't have to be salesy. It could be a simple, hey, just wanted to send you a message and say, thank you for voting in my poll. If you'd ever like to connect offline, let me know. Thank you so much for liking my post from this morning. If you'd ever like to connect offline, let me know. Thank you so much for subscribing to my newsletter, yada, yada, yada. It's that simple. People hear that and they're like, that really works? Yeah, it does. Because I'll say this, is what you're doing right now working? Meaning you're probably not reaching out to people, or if you are, you may be doing it in a way that's not converting the right way. I wouldn't be on here. Nancy and I would not be teaching on this strategy if it didn't work not only for us, but if it didn't work for our clients. In some way, shape, or form, this is what I've been teaching people for the better part of the last 14 years. It's evolved over time, but it works. So reach out to those people when they are raising their hand, right? When they are starting that conversation by engaging with you, walk through that door. So the third thing that I want to go over is, I want to take you through this little process that I have. So there's a four-step process that I initiate that obviously I would like you to initiate as well. So what is that process for when someone does engage with you? So you want to make sure, first and foremost, number one, you want to engage back in their content, right? So number one, if someone comments, I have something called engage, acknowledge, ask. So you engage their comment, meaning you like it, you love it, you support it. You hit reply, which acknowledges them, right? So it tags them in that comment. And then you ask. You add a follow-up question, which will continue the conversation in the content, which will get you more visibility and more engagement in your content, right? So you engage, you acknowledge, you ask. The second thing is after, people have started to engage with you and specific people in general, go check out their profile. I think this is a missing step. Do your research. Reach out to, go check out their profile, see what it is that they do, see what kind of alignment there could be, see what other warm touch points may present themselves. See what synergies are there. And then once you get that data and that information, send a genuine message. I appreciated your comment on XYZ post. Sounds like we may have some similarities in what we do. If you're ever open to hopping on a call or a Zoom to see how we can support each other, I would love to have the opportunity. Is there a day and time that's best for you? Or feel free to reach out to me when is convenient for you. If you building a business, creating sales, building relationships, it's a contact sport. You got to contact people. So you engage, you acknowledge, you ask, right? You engage. You then check out their profile to see what kind of points of reference and similarities you have. Then you send a nice, genuine, warm message. No sales pitch, no pitch slapping, relationship building. But the other thing is that, once that starts going, right? I had someone reach out to me the other day, actually, yesterday, and they sent me a nice warm message that, I've been seeing your content about converting connections into conversions, and I'm really struggling with this. Can you please reach out to me and we can set up a time to chat? And I wrote back, I said, absolutely. Do you have any time today, tomorrow, or early next week? And now we're setting up a call. And that's the fourth part is you need to have a clear next step when ready. So what I mean by that is when this person decides to book a call with you, don't over prepare where the conversation's going to go. Meaning you're not going into this looking to sell and pitch this person. The way that you end up closing more sales and building better relationships is making it all about the other person. When I'm conversing with people after we've built rapport from my content into my messaging, and I'm on a call or a Zoom with them, I want to find out as much as I can about them. I want to learn as much as I can about them. And the only way that I do that is I ask deep questions, right? I take mental notes, even written notes, and I even look for, is this person, could they even benefit from what I do? Then I can determine what that next step is going to be. Because after they share a little bit about them, I can then make the recommendation, well, listen, what you're struggling with is something that I actually teach and actually help people. Would you be interested in learning a little bit more about how I can assist someone like you with the problems that you're having? And I just genuinely share. And they can decide where they want to take it moving forward. Send me some information. This is something that I want to explore with you. What is your pricing? Et cetera, et cetera. But maybe after having this conversation, they'd be a better referral partner or power partner or business exchange partner than an actual client. Thanks for sharing everything. I see some really great things that you're doing, and I think that there is some overlap in what we're doing, and I really want to explore how we could support each other's businesses. Maybe you can be a guest on my podcast. I can be a guest on yours. Maybe we can do a dual training together. Maybe we can send some referrals each other's ways if we stumble upon people that, need the specific help that you do and you provide and I do and I provide. And then you could take it from there. But make sure that you have a clear next step. So that's the third piece. The fourth and final piece goes back to your profile. If someone engages with you, meaning they've liked, they've commented, they've reshared, they've voted, they subscribed, chances are they're not just doing that. Chances are, after they engage with you, they're checking out your profile. They're going to find out what it is that you actually do. So here's the key. If your background banner and your headline are not clear as to what it is that you do, how you do it, and who you serve, it's not going to move any further than that. So if you ever look at my LinkedIn profile on my background banner, it clearly states the LinkedIn sales, marketing, and lead generation system, sales, marketing, and content creation process or system for coaches, consultants, and service professionals. So when someone reads my profile, they're like, oh, this person teaches LinkedIn sales, LinkedIn content, LinkedIn marketing. I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm a service professional. I want to read more. And then if they go to my headline, right? Under my profile, it states business titles, specific keywords that I focus on. So the fact is that yes, it may be great that you're getting engagement, you're doing all the things that I mentioned earlier, but if your profile in general is leaving a question mark, if, and Donna Miller says this all the time, don't make people burn extra calories trying to figure out what you do and who you do it for. It's got to be clear. So the final step in this is taking a look in the mirror, looking at your own profile, and ask yourself, is it clear what I do? And is it clear who I'm doing it for? That background banner, that headline piece needs to be on point. So, before I wrap up today's training and today's episode, if you would like our free template on how to create high impact posts for LinkedIn to create the engagement so you can follow this process that I went over in today's training in today's episode, if you're watching on social, type the word me, M-E in the comments, and I'll send it over to you in the comments. If you're listening on the podcast, go to the description of the episode and you will find the link there for you to get the download. So I hope you enjoyed today's training and today's episode. Love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you next time.